In 1955, just weeks before his death, Albert Einstein wrote something that would forever change how we understand existence itself, a letter so profound that mainstream science has quietly ignored it for nearly 70 years. In that letter, Einstein revealed a truth about your soul that contradicts everything you have been taught about birth, death, and who you truly are. What he discovered will make you question whether you ever really had a beginning at all. You were taught a simple story. You were born on a specific date. You will die on another. And somewhere between those 2 points, you exist. But Einstein saw through this illusion. He called it exactly that, an optical delusion of consciousness. And what he discovered about the nature of time, space, and existence itself suggests something far more extraordinary. Your soul, your essence, the very information that makes you who you are, is older than your body. Far older. Perhaps as old as the universe itself. Let me be clear from the start. This is not mystical speculation. This is not wishful thinking about immortality. This comes directly from the same man who gave us relativity, who unlocked the secrets of the atom, who fundamentally changed our understanding of reality itself. And in his final years, Einstein turned his attention to the one question that matters most. What are we, really? And what he found challenges everything the institutions have taught you. They never mentioned this in your physics class. They never discussed it in your philosophy courses. Because what Einstein discovered about the soul threatens the very foundations of how we understand life and death. And once you understand it, there is no going back. The story begins with a philosopher who lived 300 years before Einstein, a man whose ideas were so dangerous that he was excommunicated from his community, his books banned, his name forbidden to be spoken. That philosopher was Baruch Spinoza, and Einstein openly admitted that Spinoza's forbidden philosophy shaped his entire understanding of reality. When asked what he believed about God, Einstein gave an answer that shocked the world, and he said, "I believe in Spinoza's God, who reveals himself in the lawful harmony of the world, not in a God who concerns himself with the fate and the doings of mankind." But what does this mean for your soul? Everything. Because Spinoza taught something revolutionary. He taught that the soul and the body are not two separate things. They are one. And this one thing is part of something infinitely larger. Einstein was fascinated by this. He said, "I admire Spinoza because he is the first philosopher who deals with the soul and the body as one, not as two separate things." Think about what this means. For thousands of years, humans have believed the soul is separate from the body, something that enters at birth and leaves at death, a passenger in a biological vehicle. But Spinoza saw through this illusion, and Einstein, using the tools of modern physics, proved why Spinoza was right. Here is where it gets strange. And I need you to pay close attention, because what I am about to share changes everything. In Spinoza's philosophy, God is not a being sitting outside the universe, watching and judging. God is the universe itself. Every atom, every star, every thought, every moment of consciousness. All of it is one unified substance, one eternal, infinite reality expressing itself in countless forms. And you are not separate from this. You are an expression of it, a wave in an infinite ocean. The wave appears to rise, to have a beginning. It appears to fall, to have an end. But the water was always there. The water will always be there. The wave was never truly born. It was never truly separate. It only appeared that way. This is not poetry. This is physics. Einstein's own theories confirm exactly what Spinoza intuited 3 centuries earlier. And the implications for your soul are staggering. But before I reveal what Einstein discovered about your eternal nature, you need to understand why this truth was suppressed. Why? Despite Einstein being the most famous scientist in history, this aspect of his work remains virtually unknown. The answer will not surprise you if you understand how institutions operate. The scientific establishment has a vested interest in a materialist worldview, the idea that consciousness is merely a byproduct of brain activity, that you are nothing more than a complex arrangement of atoms that will dissolve back into chaos when you die. This view keeps you manageable, afraid, desperate to cling to whatever comfort the material world offers. But Einstein saw through this too. He wrote about what he called the cosmic religious feeling, a profound sense of connection to the eternal order of the universe. He said this feeling is the strongest and noblest motive for scientific research. But notice how rarely this is mentioned. The textbooks give you equations, they give you formulas, but they strip away the spiritual insights that drove Einstein to discover those equations in the first place. Here is the first piece of evidence that your soul is older than your body, and it comes directly from Einstein's understanding of time itself. In 1905, Einstein revolutionized physics with his theory of special relativity. You probably know about time dilation, how time moves differently depending on your speed and gravity. But there is a deeper implication that most people miss. Einstein's equations suggest that time is not what we think it is. Past, present, and future do not exist in the way we experience them. Physicists call this the block universe. Imagine the entire history of the cosmos, from the Big Bang to the heat death of the universe, existing simultaneously, like a four-dimensional sculpture. Every moment that has ever existed or will ever exist is equally real. Your birth, your death, and everything in between. All of it exists right now. All of it has always existed. All of it will always exist. You are not moving through time. You are not traveling from past to future. You are embedded in a timeless structure that simply is. And this means something profound about your nature. If time is an illusion, if past and future are equally real, then in what sense were you ever born? In what sense will you ever die? Einstein understood this. Just weeks before his death, his close friend Michel Besso passed away, and Einstein wrote something remarkable to Besso's family. He said, "Now Besso has departed from this strange world a little ahead of me. That means nothing. People like us, who believe in physics, know that the distinction between past is present, and future is only a stubbornly persistent illusion." Read that again. The distinction between past, present, and future is only a stubbornly persistent illusion. This is not mysticism. This is the father of modern physics, Albert Einstein, telling you that your experience of time is not reality. And if time is an optical delusion of consciousness, then so is death, so is birth, so is the idea that you ever had a beginning at all. But it goes even deeper than that. Let me show you the second piece of evidence. You've probably heard of the first law of thermodynamics. Energy cannot be created or destroyed. It can only change form. Einstein expanded this with his famous equation, E equals mc squared. Matter and energy are interchangeable. They are two forms of the same thing. And this has profound implications for your very existence. The atoms in your body right now were forged in the hearts of stars. Billions of years ago, the carbon in your cells and the iron in your blood, the oxygen you are breathing right now, all of it was created in cosmic furnaces that died before our sun was even born. You are literally made of stardust. But it goes even further than that. The energy that animates you, the electricity firing in your neurons, the quantum fluctuations in every cell, none of this can be destroyed. When you die, your body decomposes. But the energy, the fundamental information that made you who you are, it does not disappear. It transforms, it disperses, it becomes part of something else. Some scientists argue this is meaningless for the self. They say yes, your atoms will be recycled. But you, your consciousness that ends with your brain. But here's what they don't tell you. Modern physics increasingly suggests that information itself cannot be destroyed. This is not speculation. This is one of the most debated principles in theoretical physics today. When Stephen Hawking first proposed that black holes destroy information, it caused a crisis in physics. Because if information can be destroyed, the laws of physics break down. Eventually, even Hawking conceded, information is preserved, always. The fundamental data that describes a system cannot simply vanish from the universe. And what are you, if not information? Your memory, your personality, your consciousness, all of it can be described as patterns of information. And according to the deepest principles of physics, that information is eternal. It was never created. It cannot be destroyed. It simply changes for. This is exactly what Einstein and Spinoza understood. You are not a temporary arrangement of atoms that appeared from nothing and will return to nothing. You are an eternal pattern in the fabric of reality itself. The form changes, the body comes and goes, but the essence, the soul, if you want to call it that, this has always existed and will always exist. But wait, there is a third piece of evidence, and this one is even more disturbing. To the conventional worldview, Einstein wrote extensively about what he called the optical delusion of consciousness. In a famous letter from 1950, he described the human condition in terms that sound more like mysticism than physics. He wrote, "A human being is a part of the whole, called by us the universe, a part limited in time and space. He experiences himself, his thoughts and feelings, as something separated from the rest, a kind of optical delusion of his consciousness." An optical delusion. Einstein is telling you that your sense of being a separate individual, distinct from the universe, is an illusion, not a metaphor, not a philosophical position, an actual mistake in perception. Like seeing a mirage in the desert, the water appears real, but it was never there. You feel like you are inside your body, looking out at a world that is separate from you. But according to Einstein, this is backwards. You are not in the universe. You are the universe, experiencing itself from a particular perspective, the boundary you perceive between yourself and everything else. That boundary does not really exist, and if that boundary is an illusion, then so is the idea that you began when your body began. So is the idea that you will end when your body ends, because there is no you separate from the whole. There never was. The wave was always the ocean. This is why Einstein was fascinated by Spinoza. Spinoza wrote that everything exists in God. Without God, nothing can be or be conceived. But Spinoza's God is not a person. It is nature itself, the totality of existence. And if you are part of this totality, if you have always been part of this totality, then in what sense could you ever have been created? In what sense could you ever be destroyed? The philosopher Helen de Cruz, interpreting Spinoza in light of modern physics, put it beautifully. She said, "Once you realize that you are an expression of the whole of nature, you come to realize that although you will die, you are also eternal, in a non-trivial sense. Read that carefully. You are eternal in a non-trivial sense, not in some vague and poetic way, in a real, physical, scientifically grounded way." Now here is where most videos on Einstein would stop. They would leave you with this beautiful idea and move on. But I need to show you something darker, because there is a reason this truth has been suppressed. There is a reason you were never taught this in school. And understanding that reason is just as important as understanding the truth itself. The institutions that shape our worldview, education, mainstream science, even organized religion, all of them have a vested interest in keeping you feeling separate and mortal. A person who fears death is easily controlled. A person who believes they have only one short life will work harder, consume more, obey more readily. But a person who understands their eternal nature, who knows they are an expression of the infinite itself, that person is dangerous to systems of control. Einstein saw this. He criticized what he called fanatical atheists, who could not appreciate the profound mystery of existence, but he also criticized religious institutions that used fear of death to manipulate believers. He sought a middle path, a cosmic religious feelings that combined the rigor of science with the depth of spiritual insight. And this is exactly what they don't want you to have. Because if you knew who you truly are, if you understood that your soul is as old as the universe itself, you would stop living in fear. You would stop accepting the limitations they impose on. You would realize that the game they want you to play, the endless chase for material security, for status, for distraction, none of it touches what you really are. Let me give you the fourth and final piece of evidence, and this one ties everything together. Physicist Sabine Hossenfelder, one of the most respected voices in modern theoretical physics, has explored what Einstein's theories mean for our existence, and her conclusion is remarkable in 1955. See, mere weeks before his passing, Albert Einstein penned words that would forever alter our perception of existence itself. A letter so deeply insightful, mainstream science has, rather conspicuously, overlooked it for nearly 70 years. Within its lines, Einstein unveiled a profound truth about your very soul. A truth that clashes with everything you've been taught regarding birth, death, and the essence of who you are. What he unearthed will lead you to question if you ever truly possessed a beginning at all, she says. For all we know about the fundamental laws of nature, about Einstein's theories, and about the way our current theories work, it seems that our existence actually transcends the passage of time. There is something timeless about the information that makes up us and everything else in the universe. And I think that is a really deep spiritual insight that we get directly from studying the foundations of physics. There it is. From a modern physicist, your existence transcends time. There is something timeless about the information that makes you who you are. This is not religion. This is not faith. This is the logical conclusion of our best scientific theories. You were never really born, not in the deepest sense. The pattern that is you, the information, the soul, whatever you want to call it. This is woven into the fabric of reality itself. It existed before your body formed. It will exist after your body dissolves. The wave rises and falls, but the ocean remains. Einstein understood this at the deepest level, and in his final years, as death approached, he faced it not with fear, but with a kind of serene acceptance, because he knew that the distinction between life and death, between birth and extinction, was part of the illusion, the stubbornly persistent illusion, as he called it. But what does this mean for you, right now, in your daily life? This is the question that matters, because understanding is one thing. Living from that understanding is another. First, consider fear. Most of what you fear in life ultimately traces back to the fear of death, the fear of loss, the fear of ending, the fear that everything you love will one day be taken from you, and then you yourself will disappear into nothing. But if Einstein is right, if Spinoza is right, if the block universe and the conservation of information are real, then this fear is based on a misunderstanding. You cannot disappear into nothing because you never came from nothing. You cannot be destroyed because you are part of something that has always existed and will always exist. The form changes, yes, but the essence remains, and once you truly grasp this, not just intellectually, but in your bones, something shifts. The fear begins to dissolve, and in its place, something else emerges, a kind of peace that passes understanding. Second, consider meaning. So many people struggle with the feeling that life is meaningless. They look at the vastness of the cosmos, the brevity of human existence, and they despair. What does any of it matter if we just blink into existence and then blink out again? But this despair is also based on a misunderstanding. If you are an expression of the infinite, if your soul is as old as the universe itself, then your existence is not accidental. It is not random. You are the way the cosmos experiences itself from your particular perspective. Your joys, are your sorrows, your loves, your losses. All of it is the universe feeling itself, knowing itself, exploring its own infinite nature. Einstein called this the cosmic religious feeling. He said it was the strongest motive for his scientific work. Not the desire for fame or money or even knowledge for its own sake, but this profound sense of participating in something eternal, of being a window through which the infinite looks out at itself. Third, consider connection. The optical delusion of consciousness makes you feel separate, isolated, alone in a hostile universe. But if Einstein is right, this feeling is a mistake. You are not separate from anything. You are part of everything. The same energy that powers distant stars is flowing through you right now. The same information that structured the first atoms after the Big Bang is structuring your thoughts in this moment. When you look at another person, you are looking at another expression of the same eternal reality that you are. When you feel love, you are feeling the universe recognizing itself. When you suffer, you are experiencing the price of appearing to be separate, when in truth, no separation has ever existed. This is not just philosophy. This is physics. Einstein showed us that space and time are unified, that matter and energy are interchangeable, that the observer and the observed are entangled in ways we are only beginning to understand. And the implication of all of this is unity, fundamental, unbreakable, eternal unity. Now I need to tell you something important. What I have shared with you today is not the complete picture. There is far more to explore. The relationship between quantum mechanics and consciousness, the implications of the holographic principle for the nature of information, the latest research on near-death experiences and what they suggest about awareness beyond the brain. Each of these topics deserves its own deep exploration, and this is exactly what this channel exists to do. Every video we create is designed to take you deeper into these forbidden territories, to show you what the mainstream will never teach you, to connect the dots that the institutions keep deliberately separated. If this resonates with you, if you feel that you are part of the small minority who truly seeks the truth, then I have a request. This kind of content is not easy to produce. It requires extensive research, careful thought, and the courage to challenge established narratives. When you click the Super Thanks button below, you are not just supporting a channel. You are making a statement. You are saying that truth matters, that the deep questions deserve to be asked, that you refuse to accept the surface-level explanations they hand you. Consider it an investment in your own awakening. But whether you support or not, what matters most is what you do with this understanding. Let me bring everything together now and show you what this means for your life. Einstein died on April 18, 1955. When asked if he wanted surgery that might prolong his life, he refused. He said, "I want to go when I want. It is tasteless to prolong life artificially. I have done my share. It is time to go. I will do it elegantly." These are not the words of a man afraid of death. These are the words of someone who understood, who knew that the game of appearing to be a separate individual was coming to an end, but that something far deeper would continue. The wave was returning to the ocean, not being destroyed, simply rejoining what it had never truly left. His last words were in German. The nurse who was with him did not speak German, so we will never know exactly what he said. But we know how he lived. We know what he believed. And we know that his entire life's work pointed toward one conclusion. Reality is far stranger, far more unified, and far more eternal than our everyday experience suggests. Your soul is older than your body. In 1955, mere weeks before his passing, Albert Einstein, a name synonymous with genius, penned words that would forever alter our perception of existence itself. A letter so deeply insightful, mainstream science has, rather conspicuously, overlooked it for nearly 70 years. Within its lines, Einstein unveiled a profound truth about your very soul, a truth that clashes with everything you've been taught regarding birth, death, and the essence of who you are. What he unearthed will lead you to question if you ever truly possessed a beginning at all. The information, the very essence, that makes you, has been woven into the fabric of existence since the dawn of time, and it will remain, indelibly woven into that fabric, long after your current form has transformed. You are not a temporary accident, adrift in a meaningless universe. You are an eternal pattern, intricately woven into an infinite tapestry. You always were, you always will be. But here is the final secret. The one Einstein subtly hinted at, but never fully articulated. Knowing this, intellectually grasping it, is simply not enough. Understanding it merely with your mind will not transform your life. You must experience it. You must actively seek moments where the optical delusion of consciousness, that veil that separates us, momentarily lifts, even briefly, allowing you to glimpse the truth directly. Meditation can serve as that key, contemplation of nature. Immersing yourself in its grandeur can unlock that door. Profound, all-encompassing love can shatter the illusion, facing mortality, confronting the impermanence of life, can reveal the underlying reality. Any experience that breaks through the illusion of separateness and reveals the underlying unity of all things. This is what Einstein profoundly called the cosmic religious feeling, and he wholeheartedly believed it was available to anyone who sought it sincerely. You were not born. The moment your body emerged from your mother, that was merely the moment the wave appeared to rise. Your essence, your soul, that unique and indelible pattern that is distinctly you. This has always been part of the ocean, and when your body ceases to function, when it dies, you will not simply disappear. The wave will simply return to the vastness of the water, from which it was never truly separated. This is the profound truth that Einstein meticulously discovered. This is what Spinoza so eloquently taught 300 years earlier. This is what the mystics of every tradition have always known, and now you have been granted this knowledge too. The ultimate question remains, what will you now do with this newfound awareness? Will you willingly return to the comforting illusion, stubbornly pretending that you are merely a temporary body, tragically destined for oblivion? Or will you embrace a life lived from this profound truth, to treat every fleeting moment as the eternal expression it genuinely is, to recognize yourself, and indeed, all others, as shimmering manifestations of the infinite? The choice, unequivocally, is yours. It has always been yours. And in the deepest sense, it is a choice that the universe itself is making. Through you, this is what they never wanted you to fully grasp. You are not mortal. You never were. You are the universe, experiencing itself. And the universe, by its very definition, has no beginning and no end. Now, I want to hear your voice. This topic, inevitably, deeply divides people. Some find within these profound ideas the greatest comfort and meaning. Others, instinctively, resist them fiercely, stubbornly clinging to the notion that we are merely biological machines with a pre-programmed expiration date. Neither response is inherently wrong. Both reveal something profound about where you are currently positioned on your own unique journey. So much to tell me in the comments below. Do you believe your soul existed before your body took form? Comment eternal. If you resonate deeply with the timeless wisdom of Einstein and Spinoza, comment mortal. If you firmly believe that consciousness tragically ends with the cessation of brain function, and if you find yourself somewhere in between, uncertain, actively searching, tell me that too. Share your unique perspective. I diligently read every comment within the first 2 hours, and I personally respond to as many as humanly possible. This is not merely content. This is a genuine, heartfelt conversation. And your voice, unequivocally, matters. Remember this crucial truth. 99% of people will passively watch this and simply return to their lives, fundamentally unchanged. But you are demonstrably different. You actively sought this out. You stayed, resolutely, until the very end. You are undeniably part of that small space, but dedicated. Percentage who genuinely wants to understand. And that unwavering desire makes you part of something vastly larger than yourself, until our paths cross again. Remember, always remember, who you really are. Not merely the physical body, not even solely the intricate workings of the mind, but the eternal pattern that was never truly born and will never truly die. The universe, consciously knowing itself, the ocean, vividly dreaming of waves,